Hello, in this session we are going to play Who, What, and Where. So I'm going to be giving some clues to each of these person, place, or thing, and you're going to try to guess what it is. So the first category is who. So it's a person, okay? The first clue is, I was born on March 20th, 1928 in Lathrobe, Pennsylvania. Do you know who it is by just that clue? The second clue. My childhood was marked by isolation and bullying. That's kind of hard to narrow it down, isn't it? Clue number 3. I have always enjoyed playing make-believe. Now that's a big clue. I have always enjoyed playing make-believe. Now this famous person, think of a famous person that, when do we usually play make-believe? When we're a child, right? So think of a famous person that enjoys doing make-believe, maybe with children or for children. Okay? In my youth, television fascinated me. So if television fascinated this person in a youth, maybe they were on TV. So who is a person that was born in the 1920s that might be on TV or might have been on TV that has something to do with children or with children doing make-believe and using their imagination? Any guesses? I am partial to tigers. Maybe he just likes the print, like the fur pattern of a tiger. Maybe if he was on TV, oop, I gave it away. It's a he. If he was on TV, a tiger has something to do with the show he was on. Are you getting closer? My work has been celebrated with many awards and honors. So he's pretty famous and pretty well known for what he's accomplished and what he's done. My legacy lives on in a nonprofit organization dedicated to children. So we assumed that he had something to do with children because he enjoyed make-believe. But now we know that he definitely has something to do with children. I consult with royalty on a daily basis. Music has always been my great passion. I encourage people to be accepting of all differences. Sweaters are a part of my trademark look. I am an ordained minister. Any guesses? Puppeteer is my special skill. Okay, so let's look back at some of those clues. We know he has something to do with TV. We know he likes to make believe. We know that he enjoys or favors a tiger, spends daily with the royalty, and is a puppeteer. So maybe think of a TV show that has to do with children, that has to do with puppets, and maybe the characters are a tiger and maybe royalty, a king or a queen, and where they do make believe. Are you getting it yet? He was one of my favorite characters or favorite people on TV when I was little. Okay. I'll give you one more clue just to help you out. I am America's favorite neighbor. Does that help? Have you guessed who this person is? If you haven't yet, or if you guessed Fred Rogers, then you're right. Fred Rogers is an American treasure and everyone's favorite neighbor. As the creator, producer, and host of the popular public television show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Fred created a safe and accepting space for children to experience the world. During its award-winning 3-decade run, the show explored many serious and even controversial subjects in a way what kids could understand thanks to Rogers' measured demeanor and a candor of puppet characters. Fred McFeely Rogers was born on March 20th, 1928 in Lathrop, Pennsylvania, as an only child until age 12, when his parents adopted a baby girl. Fred struggled with allergies and respiratory ailments that often kept him inside the home and isolated from his peers. Overweight and introverted, he was frequently bullied and lacked self-esteem. Following his graduation from Lathrop High School, Fred spent 1 year studying at Dartmouth College before transferring to Rollins College in Winter Park, Florida. There he studied music composition, building on his childhood piano lessons to graduate magna cum laude in 1951. As television was making its debut across America, Fred became captivated by his new medium and recognized its potential to both inform and entertain. He was immediately afforded an opportunity to work in television, accepting jobs with NBC in New York City, as well as a new public television station in Pittsburgh. In 1954, Rogers was offered an opportunity to create, write, and produce a weekday afternoon program called The Children's Corner. In a mostly behind-the-scenes role, he combined his talents for music composition and puppetry to create engaging characters and stories that appealed to kids. In fact, some of the most beloved characters from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, like Daniel the Tiger and King Friday, were actually created for the Children's Corner. Fred pursued a divinity degree from Pittsburgh Theological Seminary and studied child development on the side. Fred Rogers' most enduring legacy has nothing to do with his success, honors, and awards. He will always be remembered for his curiosity, genuine acts of kindness, and ability to spread love. His life's work continues via the Fred Rogers Center, which aims to advance the development and appropriate use of responsible media for young children. So Mr. Rogers left a legacy that helped children. What type of legacy would you want to leave for others? Okay, so let's guess a thing. The first clue. I was conceived in 1784 and announced in a French publication. I don't know by that clue. Clue 2. An English builder was among my first supporters. I often get dizzy from the constant forward and backward movement. That's a big clue. summer is my favorite season. So think about what summer has that maybe the rest of the year doesn't, or the rest of the seasons don't. And it has to do with seasons. I am a firm believer in the importance of timing. So it has to do with time. So what's something that it has to do with time that is very specific to the seasons of the year? And some people like me, some people wish I didn't exist. Some people have used words to justify me. I am fully committed to safety and security. Another clue about time, being punctual is very important to me. Do you guys have any ideas or any clue of what it could be? This is a huge clue. Farmers are among my most vocal critics. So it has something to do with farming. So think about farmers. What is it that they truly need with regarding time to do their work? Energy consumption is one of my biggest concerns. Falling back is commonplace for me. Okay, so think about it. Has to do with seasons. Maybe it doesn't exist in summer since it has nothing to do with summer as its favorite season. It has something to do with farming or farmers. And falling back is commonplace to me. So what is something that has to do with time that falls back? Any ideas? I am a time-shifting practice used to maximize the time of day. Did I give it away? Do you guys know what it is? If you guessed daylight savings time, you are right. Did you know that Arizona doesn't practice daylight savings? There are a handful of states, and Arizona is one of them, that does not practice daylight savings. What is daylight savings time? It is a biannual practice of adjusting the time to maximize the natural daylight hours. In the spring, clocks are moved forward 1 hour and then back again in the fall. And that's because, you know, when summer ends and fall begins, the days get shorter. So that's why the clock falls back. And now, so they have more hours of day basically to work. So farmers, remember I told you think about farmers? Farmers rely on the light of the day to get their work done, right? And so that daylight saving time concept helped them, especially in the fall. Since there is no uniformity across countries, provinces or states, daylight savings time has earned a certain notoriety, especially due to its impact on health and well-being. So some people like it, some people don't. Benjamin Franklin may have been the first in 1784 to suggest daylight savings time. New Zealand entomologist Vernon Hudson often gets credited for the formulation of it and proposed it in 1895. It says, after the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, daylight savings time was reinstated with clocks advancing by 1 hour, but not returning to standard time for the duration of the war. In England, it was known as double summertime, since clocks were set 2 hours from standard time during the summer and 1 hour during the winter months. And then starting post-war, daylight savings was inconsistently adopted or rejected entirely by various states, leading to time-shifting chaos around the world. So, who likes daylight savings time and who prefers that it didn't exist? It says that longer summer days are popular among those that enjoy the outdoor activities. Other benefits of extended daylight include reduced crime rates, lower energy costs, fewer traffic accidents, and improved health. One thing is for sure, daylight saving time remains a topic of considerable debate. Okay, so we did who, we did what, now we're going to do where. Where am I? First clue. I date back to Greek mythology when I was made from pebbles, earth, and more items. The first of my specific kind was created in 1993 by a Don France and Adrian Fisher, who designed and built me at LeBaron Valley College in Pennsylvania. You will find brain teasers and other puzzles to solve when you visit me. I come in all different shapes and sizes and can be found all over the world. Do you have any ideas of where we're talking about? I sometimes am created to tell a story or portray a theme. According to Guinness Book of World Records, I reached up to 45 acres in size in Dixon, California. So we're talking about acreage. So it has to be somewhere with lots of land. Clue 7. You might visit me the most during the fall season. So lots of land, has lots of brain teasers or puzzles that you have to uncover or solve when you visit me. And it comes in all different, and where I am comes in all different sizes and shapes, and sometimes I portray a story or theme. And you most likely see me in the fall season. I have 2 more clues. I am popular during Halloween when people hide in me and sometimes scare others by jumping out or at dead ends. Does that help? You might need to use a map or use the overlooks to figure out how to get out of me. Now do you know what it is, who or where we are? A corn maze. If you guessed a corn maze, you are right. How many have ever gone through a corn maze before? Here are some pictures of some aerial views of some really cool corn mazes. How many hours do you think it takes to make one of these corn mazes? I hope you had fun playing this guessing game and learned a little bit something new about each item.